Good morning. It is Saturday, October 26th. I realize now why I felt so weird yesterday. I woke up today with a cold, which is incredibly annoying and inconvenient, but thankfully no fevers, no sore throat, just a runny nose, a little bit of sneezing, and yeah, just annoying more than anything. I went ahead and messaged my friends who come every Saturday and just kind of let them know what I was dealing with in case they, wanted to stay home today. Because of course I just wanted to be responsible and let people know I'm definitely very mildly ill, but, don't want to give anybody anything. So I am just going to make sure that I wash my hands a lot today, and basically all I'm saying is I'm trying to make sure I'm being responsible. I wouldn't have come in if I was feverish or if I had a sore throat. And I'm just going to let everybody know when they come that I just have a little cold so that they can maybe not get so close to me. I'm actually kind of grateful that I'm going through it now, since next weekend is the Alabama Fiber Festival, and obviously I wouldn't want to go and be sick. And then there's the wedding, and obviously I wouldn't want to go and be sick. So I'm almost fortunate in a way that I'm dealing with it today instead. I am extremely blessed in the sense that I have a strong immune system, and generally speaking, I only get sick maybe once every 2 years. Hopefully that'll be the case this year, and I'll just go ahead and get my sickness over with while it's still warm outside. And yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm dealing with. Now I understand for sure why I was feeling a little off yesterday. I'm feeling my spirits and my energy are much better today, so I'm probably already on the way to recovery. It's just annoying. I got to the shop a little bit early today, just so I could kind of sweep up and everything. I didn't feel like it yesterday, so I wanted to make sure the shop was nice and clean. Things are quieting down a little bit now. As far as these past couple of weeks, I've had lots of customers, lots of orders. It's been wonderful. But these past few days, things have quieted down a little bit. Still some, orders and some visitors, but not as many. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys yesterday, because I just was feeling off. My special visitor was Becky from A Hand Knit Letter, which she has a podcast here on YouTube. She's got a beautiful Instagram. She's just an overall sweetheart, very talented creator. She's got a beautiful eye for color and creating. And she messaged me on Thursday and said she was going to be driving through my town and wanted to see if I would be here just, a little bit early. And so of course I was happy to. I would do that for anybody. If it's a business day and you're asking me to come a little bit early, I will do my best to accommodate you. So that was no problem. So I got here a little bit early, and she got to stop by, and it was really fun getting to meet her, and she picked out some really bright yarns to make a pressed flowers kerchief that is going to be really cute. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So yeah, Becky, if you're watching, thank you for stopping by and recording a little bit of my shop. It was really nice to meet you, and I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't ask you to be in my vlog, because that would have been fun. So you'll have to go over to her channel when she's got her video up, and she shares a little bit of her visit. Okay, so yesterday I didn't end up dyeing any more yarn like I needed to, because again, last time I'll say it, I just was feeling a little unwell, and now and I thought it was emotional, but it was not. It was a cold coming my way. So today I'm going to finish dyeing up what little yarn I have left to dye for next weekend. I skeined up the minis that I showed you guys yesterday, and then I have a bunch of other minis that I finished that I need to skein up and decide on the final couple of colorways for my Fiber Festival palette. And then last night I submitted an application for the Nashville Yarn Festival. It's going to be the first one of this kind, sort of like the Alabama Fiber Festival. It's a brand new event as far as I know, and it's going to be in Nashville in March. So I applied. I saw some pretty big vendors got into that show. I'm not sure if they'll let me in. When they first started announcing it, I should have applied then. I was a little hesitant because it's a little bit of an expensive show to get into, and I might not get into it at all, but if I do, it's kind of an expensive show to get into. And at the time I was preparing for SAF, and I was like not sure if I would be able to pull it off to get into the show and inventory and all of that. In hindsight, that's so silly because there would have been several months, like 5 months in between the shows, so that would have been totally doable. So I may have missed my opportunity. I hope that they'll email me back and say that they still have a spot. They still have the application open, so that might be good news. They said I should, the email said, the website said I should find out within 2 weeks of my application, so hopefully I figure it out quickly. If I don't get to go as a vendor, I'll probably go as a patron. But I hope I get in because I love how much more the fiber arts community is growing in the Southeast USA. I think it's really amazing. You know, it's funny, I get a lot of visitors who travel, who stop by my shop because I'm right off of a major interstate. So if you're going to like Florida, more than likely you're going to pass by my shop. So I get people traveling from all over the country. And the number one question I always get is, are there a lot of crafters around here? And I feel like Alabama is full of crafty people. But I think because of our weather, mostly, there's kind of a reputation that we don't have a big fiber arts community, and you know, that couldn't be farther from the truth. We have a huge fiber arts community, a lot of very talented makers of all kinds, knitters, crocheters, spinners, weavers, dyers. Yeah, lots of people here. But when I attend events, I feel like I don't often see vendors from the Southeast. Usually some Tennessee, but not a lot of like Alabama or Georgia. And even though I'm not from here, I've lived here so long that I guess I claim it now. So I want to help to kind of bring a little bit of that regional representation to these shows. And since this one is going to be in the Southeast, I hope I get in. Okay, so I need to get to work, but I just wanted to kind of catch you guys up since I didn't do a lot of talking these past couple of days, and we're quickly losing the amount of Vlogtobers that are left. Okay, so I'm gonna get to work. I was wrong. There was something else I wanted to say that I forgot before I stopped recording before. You know, I shared a couple days ago that it was the anniversary date of the day that I lost my best friend, and even though I haven't responded, I have been reading your very kind comments about that situation, and I really appreciate that you guys are taking some time to kind of just share me your kindness and your prayers and all of that. It's still a very monumental loss. It's heavy on my heart and on my mind all the time, but it's just this time of year it feels more acute because this is when it happened. So thank you very much for taking the time to say something sweet and kind. But reading your comments has definitely helped, so thank you very much. The minis are all packaged up, and I have always, so this is called my favorites #1, and it's because these are all of my favorite colorways. I definitely have a handful of new favorite colorways that I've more recently come up with since creating these, but I have always just, like, I love this so much, and I've yet to make a project with all of them together. I've made a project with this and this, but not these other ones, and I am planning on making a stripe pipe sweater by Veronica Lindberg, and I'm actually thinking this might be the perfect color palette to make my stripe pipe. I just have to figure out what my main color will be, because you can do the stripes however you want, but I'm pretty sure that the original design calls for 5 colors. So I have to think of a main color that would pair well with this. I kind of thought maybe I could use one of these as the main and then stripe in the other 4, because I think that they work really well together, but I don't know, because if anything, I would probably need to do like a cream base, but then the R colorway might get a little bit lost, but I don't know if that will matter. So I don't know. Something to think about for a new cast on when I get around to it. The camera just does not do these colors justice, but I think that they are so stunning. Of course, now that it's in a plastic bag, that dampens it too, but in person, you can still tell how pretty it is. I mentioned that we're doing an Alabama Fiber Festival colorway, and this was just, obviously this wasn't a requirement, but the event organizers, Kara and Bea, they took these pictures at Briarfield Park, and they asked us, if we wanted to create colorways based off of these pictures for inspiration. So this is what I have so far. I've got 3 of my colorways. These are going to be minis, so I'm going to do I'm going to offer a mini set, and then I'm going to dye some sock yarn that has all of these colors in it and variegated. These will be solid. So far I have 3 of the colors out of 5. I've got this pinky clay color to kind of match the Alabama red clay. That's what we are famous for. I've got this sort of, the camera makes it look a little bit more yellow. It's a little bit more tan olive in person. Yeah, it's not looking quite right on the camera, but it's sort of to match some of the leaves and the rocks. And then I have, it looks like this is copper or something in the picture. So I've got this green, and I'm planning on dyeing to go with these 3, a nice dark tealy green to kind of show sort of the variety in the way that the greens are presented here. And then I'm trying to decide on my last color. I will probably do some kind of warm brown. I have 3 kind of light colors, and I want it to feel representative of Briarfield and of this picture, but I also want to kind of give it like a cohesive sort of light and dark. So I'm trying to think of what I want my last color to be. So I know what color number 4 will be, and I kind of have to play around and decide on color number 5, but I am thinking some shade of brown. I just got the last 2 colorways for the mini skein set dyed. They're in the pot, they're just cooling off. And I'm just laying on the couch for a minute while I wait for another pot to heat up, and I'm soaking some full-size skeins of fingering weight yarn, and I'm waiting for my friends to get here. I think it's beautiful. What fiber is this?
This is superwash merino, and this is merino and silk.
Okay. Tussa silk.
Yes.
Oh man. Are you gonna do maybe a fractal spin, or what are you thinking?
I don't know. I have not made up my mind yet.
So pretty. It's about 3 o'clock now, and the knitting group just left. We got to chatting. So I close at 4, but I'm dyeing yarn right now, as you've seen. So I am finishing up. I have a mini skein set that I'm dyeing right now. I've finished dyeing up, I think, half of the yarns. I've got a couple more colorways. I'm doing more of my pop art mini skein bundle, which I really like. It's a lot of fun, bright colors. And I did finish dyeing the last 2 minis for the Fiber Fair special colorway minis that I'm doing. And I did the full colorway, as I kind of showed a little bit. I'm really happy with it. It turned out exactly as I was picturing and as I planned, which does not always happen. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. So I showed you guys the first 3 colorways for the show mini skein bundle, and here are the other 2 colors. So this is Caramel Latte. I just knew that it would, the minis in this little collection are pretty much one of a kind, but I knew that this would be the perfect color. I'll just go grab the other ones. So I thought these 2 colors sort of rounded out the whole collection really well. If you can imagine that picture that I showed you guys earlier. So now we've got like the rosy clay kind of color. We have this really pretty kind of green. We have this really pretty green, and I've got this olivey tan color, and then we have this really rich green that has some of the same dye in it, but then there's other dyes in there too to shade it. And then yeah, Caramel Latte. So this, I think, is really pretty. I think it represents the picture really well with a little bit of just a creative freedom, but yeah, I'm really happy with this. So I hope that these do well. And then I'm dyeing up pop art, so I've got Biscotti here, which is a neutral that comes with that set. But I just thought that it actually looked really pretty with these 2 colors. And now, so every time I dye solids, I think about projects that I want to make, and I'm project planning for the striped pipe sweater. So all day, every colorway that I dye, I'm like, oh, this could be my base. Like I could do biscotti as the base and then do my favorites collection as my stripes. So I might do that. That'll be something that I can consider when I'm done with everything this coming weekend. So the temperature has gone back up. We are solidly in the high 80s here, so sadly I haven't been able to pull out any knitwear. And that's unfortunate because not only do I want to wear it, but I wanted to share that with you guys. If you've watched my podcast for a while, you've seen probably most of the things that I've knit, but I know there's a lot of newer people around, and so it's fun to share those projects that I've made and, you know, the patterns and everything. Anyway, so I haven't been wearing knitwear as much recently. I haven't been able to. But I thought I would just kind of catch you up on the projects that I worked on a little bit today and yesterday, since I don't think I've shown really anything. I haven't actually gotten to work on my projects much these past few days. But here's that cross stitch piece that I'm working on. I think it looks really pretty. So I've just started filling in some of this white. Once I add in all of the back stitching, you'll get more of those details, and I think it's gonna look really cute. But I just finished stitching the pants. I haven't done the little red buttons or the outline. And then there's the top, or the tunic. I'm doing a flower, I'm doing the bunny, and I'm slowly filling out the silvery color here for the actual teapot. I did the little tea bag, which I think is cute. So that's my progress on this cross stitch. The other thing I'm working on, so I did finish one sleeve on my husband's cardigan, which was great. I think it was maybe like a day and a half of knitting, so I could, maybe this weekend, I can go ahead and finish it. I don't know. We're still working on our fence, so that's taking up all my project time. But I am also working on my Felix, and a couple days ago I had finished the body. And then I think it's been 2 days since I finished the body. I finally just picked up for the sleeve, and it knits up so quickly. But okay, so yeah, body's done. When I tried it on the other day, I do not love the fabric that I'm getting. I'm using Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, and I have perfect stitch gauge, but I feel like the fabric, I don't know. I know it's gonna look better once I block it, and I just haven't done that yet. So it's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna redo it. But for the sleeves, I was like, can I avoid this a little bit? I also kind of wanted my sleeves to be a little bit slimmer fitting, since the body is a little bit cropped and boxy. So I thought slim sleeves might be a nice way to balance it. So I've actually gone down, the body I think I knit on a US 10. I've gone down to a US 7 for the sleeves. And my worry was that it would look too stark. And you can definitely see where the gauge tightens up a bit here versus where I was knitting with the 10. But again, I do think once I block, it won't be that noticeable. I don't think it's that noticeable now unless I point it out. So yeah, it's such a quick knit that if the sleeves, I say this with everything I knit recently, if the sleeves don't work out, I'll just rip it out and do it again. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish one sleeve and see what I think and then move on from there. But I think this is really cute, and I ordered a linen dress, so I'm super excited about that. And my plan is to hopefully layer this with the linen dress. So I have that in mind. It's gonna be a few weeks, I think, before it's here, because it's made to order, which is great. So yeah, that's my Felix pullover progress. While my yarn is dyeing, I'm just gonna sit here and continue to work on the sleeve in between, you know, all of that. But I'm wrapping up the dyeing since it's almost time for me to go home. And I think I'm feeling better. I say that, and I know I'm sniffling, I'm sorry. The last time I was sick was when I was pregnant with my daughter, which was 2 years ago. So I don't get sick very often, and when I do, I feel like such a baby about it. I think it's like the mildest cold I've ever had, so I'm hoping that tomorrow I'll just wake up and be better. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, I should probably get back to work. I am doing business stuff on my phone, like paying shop invoices and updating inventory and stuff, and I opened up the YouTube comments for the vlogs to respond to somebody about inventory, stock on an item, and in doing so, I proceeded to read through some of y'all's comments, and I've said this a bunch of times, but I do really appreciate that you guys are so kind to me. I know it like sounds cliche coming out of my mouth, but I mean, I genuinely wouldn't make these videos without that kind of reciprocation. Not that I am looking for validation, but it's the genuine kindness that people extend to me that really means a lot. So I'm glad that I can put my best foot forward and try to sort of create a community of kindness, and the fact that it's reciprocated back to me makes me feel like it's successful in some way. So I appreciate that, you guys. The world can be a very sad place, and I know that we all have a lot on our plates and that we each go through our own difficulties. So the fact that, you know, I've said this before, but the fact that you would take a moment out of your own day and your time to say something kind to me is really impactful. So yeah, I appreciate that, and I definitely encourage you to continue with that kind of attitude. That is how I try to carry myself, and that is the kind of warmth that I personally want to extend to others. So I'm gonna put on my mom pants and tell you all that I commend you for that level of kindness that you have. I think it's incredible, and this is just one small little pocket of the world. The fact that I'm here talking to a camera and you guys are talking back to me and behaving that way, and yeah, it's amazing. In a weird way, doing these videos, it's almost like a big social experiment. Crosses my mind from time to time how, in a way, I am putting myself out there to potentially be subject to ridicule. And I'm sure people have had thoughts, but I've only ever gotten one rude comment, and I've been on YouTube for many years. And the rude comment was actually on my last full podcast. And what's funny is, it wasn't really like a personal insult. It was an insult about something that I knit, which almost hurts worse. So in all the years that I've been on YouTube, I've only received one rude comment. I thank you all for not subjecting me to that, and not only not subjecting me to that, but being so kind on top of it. I probably sound silly, but I just want you guys to know that that doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. It very much is noticed and appreciated. I still remember the kind things that people were saying to me last year during Vlogtober, when I did my daily videos then, because I think that's when a lot of the people I speak with regularly now, that's when I think we started to get connected. And so I still remember the things that you were being kind about back then. So yeah, those things stick with me, and I really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys, I hope that you each have somebody in your life, whether it's an internet friend or hopefully you've got some family and friends in person who can give you that kind of support, because you all deserve it. All right, I need to, I have one last pot of yarn to dye. I'm waiting for the pot to come to temperature, and then I will get to dye the last mini for the collection, and then I will be done with work for today. And then I'm going to turn off work brain. Okay, I'm going to turn this off now, and I'm going to try not to talk to the camera a lot more today because I'm creating a lot of work for myself later. Okay, I'm back home. It's probably a couple hours since I last recorded. I probably won't record too much more today because I think I probably recorded a lot of just chatting today. It's funny because with me being a little sick, it's not very fun to talk, but apparently I'm feeling chatty. Anyway, I'm sitting in my daughter's room because she is asleep in my room. Anyway, I can't really talk, so I just wanted to show you guys something that came in the mail. So you might remember that Ruby Star Society Juicy Fat Quarter bundle that I got at the beginning of the month, and I shared it probably on day 2. I ordered some coordinating fabrics so that I could make a quilt, because come November, once everything settles down, I am going to start making a quilt, and I'm really excited. I'm trying to decide between a sawtooth star quilt, which I'll probably end up doing, and a bear paw quilt. I love those two quilt blocks, and I think they would both be really cute in the juicy fabric. So let me show you what I got. So first of all, I got those couple of flosses that I was missing for my Merry Autumn pin keep. These are the Weeks Dye Works, and they are really pretty. The lighting in here, you know, the sun's kind of starting to go down, so it's not super bright, but I am sitting by a window. Hopefully you can tell. See, these are really pretty neutrals, and I could have just used DMC, but yeah, I needed to place a fabric order, so I just went ahead and got these couple of threads. So now I have that fully kitted. I'm sitting on a quilt that I made for my daughter. This is a Susie Quilts adventure quilt, I think, or Adventureland quilt. I like these colors, but this was a jelly roll quilt. A lot of fun making this one. Okay, let's see what I got. I'm not going to take everything out of the plastic yet. You can see my reflection. Because I'm going to keep it nice and neat until I can start working with it. But you can see here, I got some yardage of some Ruby Star Society fabrics. I ordered this from Fat Quarter Shop, just FYI. This is the Starry line of fabrics from Ruby Star Society, and the color is called Pistachio. It's really pretty, gorgeous chartreuse with I would say cream colored stars. They have a whole line of these colors that you can get in this pattern. I think it's going to be a really pretty fabric where there's a little bit of visual interest with the patterning, but the color is going to look really nice paired with Juicy to make quilt blocks. And then this is the one I was really excited for. This color is called Saddle, and I took too long to place my order, so I did miss, I wanted to buy Saddle in the Starry collection, and it sold out while I was waiting, so I got it in this one instead, which is called Sugar. It's these little white polka dots. I think it's really pretty, and I'm actually pretty glad I got that. Unfortunately, I did just realize I have to open this because one of my yardages is squeezed down in the middle. This is a really pretty sort of checked fabric that I got. This is from the 100 Acre Woods fabric. I actually can't remember who made this one, but it's 100 Acre Woods, and this one is called Pink Picnic Plaid. So I got, I think, 1 yard of this to do some really pretty quilt blocks. You can see this and this together, I think, are so nice. So some of the fabric that I got, I might not necessarily be putting it in with the Juicy fabric. It might be going in a different project. So like these couple of colors here, I kind of got more with the intention of putting them together. And now looking in this box, I'm realizing that more of the fabric must be folded in on itself. So I'm going to put a pause on this here. Hopefully that's not disappointing. I'm going to wait until I'm at the shop and can open all of this, because at home I have pet hair and I don't want pet hair getting on these. So to be continued, but I did get some very lovely things. It looks like they packaged my solids here. I'm definitely going to be using this more for the borders of the blocks. I know I got a pretty celadon green color. I got a pink, and I know I got a rust and an off-white, and I can actually see them tucked in there. So that's not super exciting. It's just an off-white. There it is, and a rust. So yeah, that's my solids. I will just show these to you guys when I can open them all up, and there is not pet hair because I'm realizing that they're all folded in one another, and I don't want pet hair getting on them yet. So to be continued.
What?
Go, Daddy.
Go.
Here, Mama.
Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you. Yes, please. Silly goose, don't do it that way. It is like 9 o'clock. I've been in bed for hours, just sitting, trying to feel better. I'm about to bite off sleeve number 1 on my Felix pullover, and the more time that I spend knitting on the smaller needles, and the more I realize how much more beautiful this fabric is. I mean, look how pretty these stitches are. And then I go and look at the body, and it's so disappointing. So, you know, I was saying earlier that I got stitch gauge, but it doesn't necessarily mean I have a nice fabric. And you can really see the difference between here. Oh, that's your water, honey. See the difference between here and here. So now part of me wonders if, when I get the sleeves done, if I'm gonna go and rip out the body and redo it. I wouldn't be able to redo the yoke, but I don't know. We'll see. It might still look better with blocking. I'm just gonna do a couple more rows of ribbing and then bind this off. Jason made me a hot chocolate earlier, which was really nice. He makes it from scratch with actual cocoa butter and cocoa powder, and it's really delicious and very rich. No, it's okay. Just a quick good night from my sick face.